with killer rhymes, these stars like all the time. Tears for miles, with drops of wild, it's all together in impeccable style. It's forever music. It's forever music. Listen up, the doctor's in. Grab the penicillin, cause your beats are sick and your head will stick. It's export error music. Listen up, the doctor's in. Grab the penicillin, cause your beats are sick and your head will stick. It's export error music. Export error music. Export error music. She's so fine with killer rhymes, thinks the stars roll all the time. Till us for miles, the jokes are wild, don't forget her impeccable style. She's so fine with killer rhymes, thinks the stars like all the time. Till us for miles, the jokes are wild, don't forget her impeccable style. Export error music. Export error music. Listen up, the doctor's in. Grab the penicillin, cause her beats are sick and your head will stick. It's export error music. Listen up, the doctor's in. Grab the penicillin, cause her beats are sick and your head will stick. It's export error music. Export error music. Export error music. She's so fine with killer rhymes, thinks the stars roll all the time. Till us for miles, the jokes are wild, don't forget her impeccable style. She's so fine with killer rhymes, thinks the stars like all the time. Till us for miles, the jokes are wild, don't forget her impeccable style. Export error music. Export error music.
Kapla warriors, today is a good day to look at my nature photos. One of my favorite hobbies is going for walks and taking photos of plants and mushrooms. Especially in like I guess every season there's something I like to take a picture of. Like fall / almost winter, I like to take the mushrooms. In the spring, there's a bunch of gorgeous bulb flowers here. And then the summer, there's the summer flowers like sunflowers and the dahlias. And then in winter, I don't know, it snows a little bit sometimes, so I like to get snow pictures. So today, I will be sharing with you a large selection of some nature photos. Believe it or not, I did cut these down. I went through them and took out like 50. So, these are the top. I don't know how many this is. Right here, as you can see, is a sunflower, which is one of my favorite flowers. Maybe my favorite flower. I love sunflowers and gardenias and like purple roses, purple and yellow roses. Not purple and yellow, purple roses and yellow roses. So here's a sunflower, and I love it. And I think this was a really tall one. I don't know when I took this one though. I can't tell where I am in it. So that's a mystery. This, again, I'm not certain where I am. I think this might have been in Oregon. And they're all those little pretty like summer daisies. I just love those. I don't know if you guys get them where they are, but they're just really pretty. They make me happy. This is like some kind of hydrangea variant, I think. Again, I'm not sure where I took this one, but I'd never seen one like this before, so I was excited. Plus, I have this cool new app. Well, I don't know if the app's new, but it's newish to me. plant ID, and you can take a picture of like any part of the plant and it'll help you try to identify it. So I love to do that. It also showed me how many plants around here are not native to the area. This, I believe, is another variant hydrangea. I like blue hydrangeas the best, and this one was like a violetish hydrangea, and that was cool. More hydrangeas. This one's cool because it's like 2 colors. I also love to get pictures of bees. That's like my secret talent, is happening to find a bee on a flower. So here's one. This is probably one of my better ones, actually, because sometimes it's hard because they want to move around so much. So sometimes it's hard to get a good one, a nice clear photo of them. This is at a pretty Japanese garden. I loved the little bridge, although I felt like I couldn't quite. I'm really short, so sometimes I feel like I can't quite get the best angle for my photos. And this was a farm sanctuary that I visited. Here's a little horsey. I think I brought some, like, what did I bring with me? Because you could bring stuff. Was it like carrots and some greens that I brought? This one's got a beard and crazy eyes. This one looks like a drug addict. Like, this one just looks upset. And, oh, here's this cute little goat with his blue eyes. This one's got a little, with that freaky little thing with, like, the goat. I think they did that in Maleficent. Didn't they give her, like, goat eyes with, like, the sideways pupil thing? This one, look how handsome his blue eyes are. I wish I remembered his name. I'm sure I knew what it was at the time. I see that goat back there has a dog collar on. That's interesting. I wonder why they did that. I love little goats. Not that the big goats aren't good, but the little goats are so cute. One of my favorite things in the whole world is moss. I love moss. And I like this one because you can see like the moss is like reproducing or growing or whatever. So that was kind of cool. I was excited to find that in that photo. I'm not sure what time of year this was. Fall or something. And you can see the lichen too. I also love lichen, but I love moss even more. And you can like see it growing. So I thought that was really cool. Moss is a bryophyte, I believe. That's one of the few things I remember from my biology class in like my early college undergraduate years. Bryophyte. This, oh shoot, what were these called? It's obviously a pea flower, but it was called like everlasting pea or something. Is this the one I'm thinking of? It's so pretty. You can see the little veins in it. I'm sure they're not called veins, but still, so pretty. I saw this all over during the summer, and I just loved it, and this was one of my best pictures, I think. I don't know what this one was. Oh, I think this was in Southern California is where I took this one. And so this was really cool because I was thinking those really bright spots on the inside. I wonder if those like look different. You know how like bees and birds, like they see it differently. I was like really curious, what does that look like from a bee's view? Because I bet it's like really cool. It's like a target. Anybody know anything about that? So yeah, that one I thought was really cool. Oh, whoops, my bad. This is a hyacinth variety. Oh, thanks Franz Dragneel for subscribing. This is a hyacinth variety. I don't remember if this is the kind that smells good, because there's a couple different kinds of hyacinth, and they smell so pretty. This one was hard to get a picture of because it was really low on the ground, and it's not my best picture, but I really liked it. We get lots of beautiful hyacinth varieties here. And then I'm always driving, like in the summer, and I'm like, oh, look at that one, and I want to like pull over, but I don't think people would appreciate that. I don't remember what this one was, but it was such a beautiful blue color. And you can see we also get a lot of this like strawberry ground cover. It doesn't actually grow any strawberries, but it's the strawberry leaves, and it's like a popular ground cover here. I don't know if it's native though. Can't remember. But I love this blue color of that. Because I feel like you don't see that much naturally occurring blue colors like that. Sometimes they like dye the flowers to look that color, and I hate that. Here was a tulip that I happened upon. That's just gorgeous. I don't know what you call it when it looks like this, but I just like saw it, and it was like all by itself, just a lone tulip, and it was so beautiful. I was so excited. I ran over to it to get a photo, and then I like crouched on the ground and I talked to it, And then the people walking the path stare at me, and I'm like, what? What do you want? Did you also want a photo? This is just some ferns. I think ferns are cool because I've read that some of the earliest plants on land were like ferns or fern-like plants. So I always kind of think it's cool when you're like walking through a forest, F-O-R-E-S-T, and you see ferns, because I like imagine I'm like a ancient creature, like a prehistoric creature, like maybe I'm a dinosaur and I'm walking through the ferns. It feels like I'm back in history. Here's my first of many mushroom photos. Usually I like to take multiple angles and try to get the best one. This one's cool. I do not eat mushrooms, or at least very rarely, and usually only if it's like a mushroom broth, or I think my favorite vegan burger might have mushrooms in it, but I just pretend I don't know that. So this is one that I liked. This is a pretty old picture. I have a lot of more recent ones. These are they're called, shoot, what are they called? It's called a forest rose? It's called no. I think it's called a woods rose? And they smell so fragrant, and they're here in the summer, and I just love them. I wish I could take a smellogram like photo and you guys could smell it, because they're so beautiful. When are we finally going to invent smellograms? I feel like it's high time. Like, with all the stuff that we got, how do we not have smellograms yet? Because I want to be able to take a picture of a flower like this, or like something that I baked or cooked, and I want to be able to send that to people. Ooh, this is a hollyhock, right? No, foxglove, I'm sorry. It's a foxglove. I love foxglove because of the cool pattern inside. I also wonder if that pattern like looks really different to the bees, like, you know, more intense. I love foxglove. I do believe if it might be non-native also, but it's so beautiful. And then they like release all those seeds and stuff. It's really cool. I love this, like the self-seeding flowers that they just like give off all these seeds and reseed themselves. I should have taken this one out because it's like too bright. I don't know what happened in this one. It's pretty, but I don't know what it is. And it came out too bright, so I don't know. Sorry I haven't been responding to chat. The messages were not popping up, so I'm trying to problem solve that. I don't know why they are not working here. Here we go. Wait. Is that okay? Oh, that's so cute that they bring the pumpkins for the animals. I've seen that some other places. I've seen like, cause you know, I like follow a lot of like animal groups on Facebook, and I see them asking for that too. That's awesome. Oh yeah, the Pacific Northwest does have the invasive Himalayan blackberries, WishStone. They're so delicious though. So I just, you know, I help out by eating them. They ripped out a bunch near us locally. They just ripped them out. And I'm like, no, because like, I know they're invasive, but a lot of little critters, like little chipmunky type critters live in them, and the birds, and I'm sure the birds eat the seeds, and they are delicious. Although I had really bad luck this year. Usually when I go, I'll grab like a bunch of handfuls and eat them on my walk. But this year, I think, did I end up sick? There was some reason that I like missed out, and I mostly only got sour berries, and that bummed me out. Oh, WishStone, I would definitely be interested in the mushroom lessons in the light novel. I was looking at some mushroom books at Barnes & Noble like a couple months ago, and I was like, I definitely want a scratch and sniff sticker through the internet. I think that would be awesome, because then it could like be prepared, and then you just click it. You could even do have any of you been playing that Pokemon, what's it called? And you get the cards, and then you can like swipe to open it, like you're really opening the packet. It could be like you could pretend scratch it. Oh, oops. What's next? Oh, these are so cool. This is like it's a climbing nightshade. I think it has something else. Pretty sure they're poisonous, but they're so beautiful. I'm like obsessed with them. I have so many pictures of these. This one's not the best one ever, but I love these because like look at these. They look like out of like a fairy tale or something, like or even out of like a fantasy world. Like, they don't even look like they're from Earth to me. Like, they look like fantasy. And they have these awesome berries that I have pictures of later. They're just so beautiful. I love them. More daisies. Because the daisies just always make me happy. They just, when I see them, sometimes I have this like gratitude journal app, which I know sounds really silly, but I was just trying to keep myself positive. In the summer, I'm always saying like, saw a daisy today. So beautiful. Another bee photo. Very proud. Look at that. All that pollen. Although this bee photo's not looking too good. Sometimes they're hard to get. Plus, it looks like it was really bright that day. Not sure I could even see very well when I was taking it. But I do love capturing a bee via photo. Not for real. This is a hollyhock. I love hollyhocks because they remind me of when I was a kid. I can't remember precisely why. I think like maybe we learned about them at school. But for some reason, like hollyhocks like triggers a vague memory in my mind of when I was a kid. So I was excited to find these. It was hard to get a picture of though because it was on the other side of a fence. And I'm really short, so I was like reaching over trying to get a photo. Look at all that pollen. One of my favorite things I'm always trying to get a photo of is, do you ever see the bees and they're like going around to the flowers and they've got those like saddlebags of like pollen on them? I want to get a picture of that so bad, but they're always like moving too fast. I think that's just like, I'm obsessed with it. I think it's the cutest thing. These are, oh my gosh. These are one of my friend's favorite stargazer lilies, and they are very fragrant. Another smellogram I need here for you guys if you've never smelled them. My friend loves these, and so I always get a picture when I see one and I send it to her. She lives across the country. We get a lot of lilies here in the summer too, surprisingly. And it smells, stargazer lilies have a wonderful fragrant smell. Another hydrangea. I get excited when I see a hydrangea that's like a different kind. This one's got the cool like white on the edges. Can't tell where I saw this one. I think maybe this was like outside someone's house and I was just being a creep. You know how you do. Yellow rose. Yellow and purple roses are my favorite. I love them. And yellow and purple are often like extra fragrant. There's this kind I love, sterling silver rose. I love them. They're like this silvery purple and they're so fragrant. There was like a store that sold them when I was like 12 years old, and ever since then I've been trying to find them because I just loved them. I think these are Cosmia. This isn't a very good picture of them though. They're much prettier in person. This one's kind of blurry. It's kind of bumming me out. Maybe I need a better phone. My phone's like on the cheaper side, and I'm realizing maybe the camera's not as good as I need for my plant photos. This is important. I'm noticing once again my chat is not updating. Why is this happening? No. What is going on here? Yeah, sometimes I do need to creep on neighbors in their gardens. Like, if you're gonna have a beautiful garden, I'm sorry, you need to just be prepared to be creeped on a little bit for photos. My sister used to live near this person that had like the most gorgeous, like fantasy garden. Like I was obsessed with it because they had flowers, but then they also had like produce. Oh my gosh. And I wanted to get so many photos, but like I was trying not to be too creepy because I definitely err on the creepy side, but I'm a woman, so it's okay. This one I'm quite pleased with. This is an allium, right? And these are 2 bees. I got 2 bees, you guys. I love bees. I only got stung once. I don't even think I was a kid. I think it was like late teens. And I think I stepped on it maybe. I feel really bad. But, so I'm not afraid of bees. I love bees. Bees are my friends. Wasps are different. Wasps are another matter. But I love this photo. Oh, I see your... And look at this one. Look at, I didn't even like purposely, like I got this one on purpose, but when I went to take the photo, I originally didn't even know there was a bee in there. And then I was like, oh my gosh. I don't know what flower this is though. I'm not sure. But look at this. Look at that. And look how clear the bee is inside. Very pleased with this one. Looks like some kind of vine. Or climbing. I love it. I feel like people don't print photos these days. I want a print of this, but then I'm like, well, what am I gonna do with that? Oh, I would love to start a garden. My brother bought me a garden tower, but I moved a few months later, or a tower garden, but I moved a few months later and my new place does not have a balcony. So I have nowhere to put it. And so my dream, I would love to have a home, rent or buy, just was small enough that I could fit at least like one raised bed and my garden tower. And I would love that. And I would do like the like arch thing and I could have like peas and stuff grow up it. Oh yeah, asparagus looks so cool when it grows. I also like, what's the other, I think some of the things, asparagus looks really cool. It almost looks like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just so cool. It's not what you would expect, right? Like when I first saw it, I was like, what? It's just, I love to see where foods like come from and like what they look like when they grow. Like I'm always Googling like, what does nutmeg look like? Where does nutmeg come from? And nutmeg is like the fruit. And then mace comes from the inside and it's like the outer part of the seed. And like, I'm like super into that. Like cinnamon comes from tree bark, a specific tree bark, obviously. And so I love to look up like that stuff. Like, what does it look like? Where does it come from? I love these. Have you guys ever seen these? I'm like obsessed with these. It took me a long time to find out what they were. I think they're called Mercy is one of their names. And look, you can see they turn like translucent and they're kind of like opalescent. Is that what I mean to say? Oh, is it also called wait, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying, WishStone. I thought you were saying this was willow bark, and I was like, hey? Yeah, nature has a lot of awesome medicine. Oh, Johann's coins. Oh, interesting. Aren't they so cool? Like, I'm obsessed with these. I actually got some that I have in my home now. That they had them at the flower market. I got some, and I was like, oh my god. Because you can, like, see the seeds, and they're, like, kind of like, what do you call it? Capiz shells. And, oh my gosh, I just love them. It's just, because you can't quite tell in this picture, they're a prettier, like, ghostly white color. It's just, like, the coolest thing. And I just love them. And I'm so excited I have some now. I can't wait to show, when my nephew visits, I'm excited to show him, and I hope he's excited about it, but he might just be like, yeah, whatever. These are dahlias. I never knew there's so many variants of dahlias because, like, I grew up in an area of California, and so, like, now that I'm in the PNW, the plants are so different, you know? And then when I go to Southern California, they've got, like, all the cool tropical plants. Oh, you've seen those pretty often, Otter? Yeah, I was so excited the first time I saw one, I was, like, flipping out. Yeah, they're great for fall and winter bouquets. I love the dried flowers. This is a much better photo of a dahlia. I love seeing some. There was this one yard I was driving past, and they had dahlias like blooming into like October. I was amazed. It was like the only place where I was like still seeing their dahlias bloom. This is a dahlia too. Isn't that cool? I've got like the double and the single. So this is really beautiful. This was there's this older lady that I help with her gardening when I have time and energy. I help her garden and I help her cook. And she has all kinds of beautiful... I love her yard. I would love to have her yard. Because I like a yard that's like slightly wild. Like, you're obviously caring for it, maintaining it, but it's got a little bit of a wildness to it. It's got like some moss. Like, that's my kind of yard. Like, I kind of imagine it like the secret garden. This is a bad picture of a... These are... I don't think these are Black-Eyed Susans. I don't know precisely what these are. Some kind of sunflower variant. I like these ones back here. I don't know if you guys can you see my mouse? No, you can't see my mouse. Oh well. Gotta get a picture of my favorite type of sunflower. I don't think I have any pictures of that. Yeah, this one here. This is one kind that I really like, but I forgot the name of my favorite kind. I forgot what it's called. My favorite kind. Oh yeah, this might be the same one as in the beginning, but from a while different. This one was crazy tall. Like, this had to be at least 7 feet. It was in a pot, so that had it a little off the ground, but even from the pot. Oh, thank you, whoever said that. Oh, Sleepy. Good to see you, Sleepy. Did you just get here? And then these are crocuses. We get like these there's like 2 kinds of times that we get the crocuses blooming here, because there's like the spring crocuses, but then there's also like fall ones, I think. Oh, you were here all along? Sorry, like I said, I was having some problems with the stream, so if you commented earlier, I just didn't see it. This isn't the best picture because these ones look like they're kind of near the end. But I love crocuses. Crocuses are where saffron comes from, right? So it comes from a type of crocus? This one. Okay, Sleepy, you get a Star Trek reference. You said I was here all along. Season 2, TNG, when Deanna Troi gets impregnated by the entity, and then she has the baby, and then Riker's there, and she's like, were you here all along? It's like, yes. And he's like, yes. It's bearded. That might be episode 1. That's the episode 1, season 2. Riker premiering his beard. He was there all along. This is just one of those plants that I think the little, the seed seeded itself. Riker is a stalker. And which, at least he had the beard. A lot of the time beards make someone creepier. It definitely toned down his creepiness. Every time I rewatch and I get back to season 1 and he's no beard, I'm like, oh, God. And then it, terrifies me. Oh, I know, Data was by her side. It was like, and then freaking Pulaski's like, oh, she doesn't need the cold touch of a machine. It's like, you know what, bitch? Oh, the Riker maneuver's the best. But Pulaski pisses me off for Data attitude. Like, you know what? And then Troy's like, no, Data will be great. And I'm like, yeah, he will, you POS. The Riker maneuver, if you haven't heard of the Riker maneuver, you should Google it because there's a funny parody video of it. But it's basically, Jonathan Frakes is tall. I actually think he's only 6'6'2", which not that that's not tall, but you'd think he was 6'5" based on the fact that he's doing this. But he gets onto a chair from the back by swinging his leg over. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah, I despised Pulaski. From episode 1, I just want to punch her. When she's like, Data, what's the difference? And he's like, one is my name. And then she's like, oh, what is this? Ego? It's like, no, what's wrong with you? I think that they should have transported her into space. I firmly believe that. I'm not joking. I would have loved that episode. These are rose hips. So a while back, I guess it was last fall, I was like, I'm going to try to make rose hip tea. Because I love the idea of foraging and then using those Himalayan blackberries for a pie or something. So I gathered a bunch and I dried them. And then I never ended up grinding them down into tea. I have not gotten rid of them, so I still could. Yeah, Otter, you got the right idea. And then they're having a party afterwards. I hate her so much. I could talk about that for a long time. This mushroom, obviously, I was in awe of the cool spongy texture. There's so much variety of mushrooms and fungi. But this one, I mean, you can see it a little, but you can't see it quite as good as I'd like, but it was so cool and spongy. I do talk to the mushrooms as well because, I need to pay them respect. So for the day when they take over, they remember, she was cool. She gave us respect. She talked to us. I thanked them for the photos. This one's got a good spongy too. Not quite sure what's under it right there. Oh, I don't know if I have a picture in here of my favorite type of moss. I hope I do. This might be it, but it's not a good photo. Oh, remove the seeds from the hips. I did not know that. Thank you, WishStone. How do you remove them, though? Do you have to just, grind it and then be like wheat trying to get the chaff out, or slice them in half? They're hard as rock now. I might have to just gather new rose hips. These are my favorite. Because obviously they Mario-esque, but also they're so cool because they just pop out of the ground out of nowhere, and you'll see them start. I have some other photos. Oh damn! So WishStone, I screwed that process up. Okay, I'm gonna need to gather some new rose hips, de-seed them. I did not know that. I would not have enjoyed that. I don't think I'm gonna be able to split the dried ones. I mean, I do have a nice mortar and pestle. Oh, Otter, that is a different... Otter might be king. They might use you as, their, oh, crap. What do they call Picard? Locutus. You could be the Locutus, Otter. They could be he's bridging the gap between the mushrooms and men because he's part mushroom, part man. I'm oh, I'm so jealous you do foraging stuff in school. I think that's so important. I don't think kids get enough nature these days. Otter of mushroom. That's awesome. We need to make some AI art of that. So I love these because like you'll see them just peeking and they just like punch their way out of the ground like freaking zombies. It's so awesome. These ones are like really kind of grotesque, but I still get photos of them anyway. They look there's some I've gotten where they're more blob-like and very alien, and they have that like, honestly, they're kind of repulsive to me. But you know. Yep. That is nasty. Yeah, I like to go for a walk around work. If I'm like not taking photos, it's about a 10-minute walk, but I like to walk and I sing and I take photos of the mushrooms and I talk to the plants. Not too many people see me. Plus, again, I'm a woman. I can get away with that. Plus, it'll be awesome when I'm an old woman too, because I'll just look like a witch. And then people will really leave me alone. They'll be like, whoa. These ones I love. I wish the picture captured it better because they like literally glow. You can't quite tell as well as in the picture as in person, but they were like glowing. It was the coolest thing. And I was like so excited. I wish I knew more about what I need to get a mushroom ID book or app because I'd like to catalog how many different types I'm seeing and know them when I see them. Anybody know if there's an app for that? I'm sure there's a guidebook. Mushrooms of the PNW. This is a nice one. Das ist schön. Oder. I like this one. There's another different kind of moss. This is like the leafier kind, where it like spreads out, and then there's the kind that I call star moss. Then there's the other kind. What do I call the other kind? I don't know. I have to think about that. These were kind of glowy too. They're kind of like egg-shaped. There's that cool lichen down here. I know of 3 kinds of lichen that, again, one of the only things I remembered from my bio class, it was fruticose, foliose, and crustose lichen. I believe this is fruticose. Anyone more knowledgeable of lichen is welcome to correct me. This is a kind I love too. I don't know if it's a more developed version of that other kind or if it's a different kind. I love it. I love it even more. This is one of my favorite photos because they're so like Mario-esque, but I don't think eating them would go well for me. How much will you guys super chat if I agree to try one? Take a video. It's got to be enough to cover my medical expenses. Just joking. Just kidding. Oh, this one's pretty. It's got the little leaf on top. Not gonna eat any mushrooms. Yeah, that was what I was saying, Otter. I'm just kidding. I'm not really gonna eat that mushroom. There's no amount you could pay me. This is a pretty one of my favorites too. I just love these because like I feel like I saw them in like books and stuff as a kid, and then like to just see one in person is like magical, triggering that childness of me, which there's a lot of childness in me. This one's pretty bleh, but I was excited to find it. Like this is actually a lot smaller. I was excited because one day I went for a walk and I just found a bunch of ones like hidden under leaves, and so I was excited for that. See, look, here's one of these ones. It's just like, look at that. It's just punching up out of the ground. It looks almost like spiky. And they just like punch their way out. It's awesome. I get so, every time I see these, it's like the first time. Feels like the first time. I get so excited. And this one, I like it because I don't like to knock them over. So this one's already knocked over so I could get a picture of the gills. And then I stare at it. And I'm like, whoa. Whoa. So stimulating for my eyes. Oh, look, there's this one area by my work where there's always tons of these. Look at this. Different stages of punching their way out of the earth. And I thank them. See, look at this one. There's 3 of them. I think this is the earlier developed version of that other one, because you can kind of see the little bit there. And it's just gonna like get taller and spread out. So beautiful. Brings a tear to my eye. Oh, that reminds me. Last night, I went to this event where there was like luminaries. And But then, I don't know what made me think of this, but I suddenly started thinking about DS9. I can't start thinking about it again. I won't be too specific, but I started thinking about the specific thing from DS9. So then I'm just like walking around the luminaries and I'm crying and I look like I'm insane. Maybe they thought I was just really into the beauty, but I was like crying because I was thinking about this part of DS9 and I can't start explaining specifically because I'll start crying again. And I don't want to do that because then I get stuck on it. Unless you guys really want to hear it. I don't think crying's very good for my lingering cough, though. They do look like the Super Mario Bros. Mushrooms, right? The first time I saw one, I, like, flipped out. Luckily, at the event, it was very dark, so people probably couldn't see my tears. They were silent, emotional tears of grief. Yeah, that's what it's like, going for a walk. If you see me, you see this crazy lady crying, crouching on the ground, talking to the mushrooms. Usually I sing sad songs when I'm on my walk, so I'm like singing sad songs too. Like one that I sing is the, I never actually saw this movie. Frozen 2, there's the lullaby that the mom sings. I keep forgetting what it's called. But it's like, the lyrics are really beautiful. And I sing that one a lot on my walks, because it's kind of sad and autumnal. Yeah, see, I think this is them further developed. They're so beautiful. So beautiful. Ah, look at this one, just starting to sprout. Early in his life. He doesn't even know what he's gonna find above ground yet. Or does he? Here's something I was thinking about. I want your guys' input on this theory. Okay, so we already know that mushrooms have ways to communicate, right? Fungi, they have ways to communicate. Here's what I'm thinking. Mushrooms have also been around for like longer than plants and animals. Or at least land plants and animals. Can they like retain information and like pass the memories down through generations of mushrooms? And so I'm thinking, if we came up with a way to communicate with mushrooms, could they tell us about like prehistory and like dinosaurs and like the beginning of land life? Would the mushrooms be like, oh yeah, we've had that information passed down from mushroom to mushroom? What do you think, guys? Yeah, WishStone, that's what I'm saying. Mushrooms are like the keepers of all ancient knowledge. I'm pretty sure they could tell us everything we could ever want to know. These are the ones, okay, this is this kind, they look like potatoes, right? Oh, looks like is there a lag? I don't know if you guys can see it yet. Okay, so the potatoes, they look like potatoes. Yeah, I'm gonna copyright that, Otter. Don't take it. Don't take it from me. Are they puffballs? Okay, so they look like potatoes, but then as they grow, they eventually like open up and they're all like icky and rotten inside. I don't know if I have any pictures of that. Thank you for telling me the name. Maybe WishStone, you can be my mushroom idea. Look like little mushrooms. Oh, well look at that, a tulip. I did not expect that. I thought I was only on the mushrooms now. Oh man, I'm getting hungry. This one, I don't know why I took this picture or when, but I love it. It's got that pretty, like, these leafy moss that, like, spreads out. WishStone, I thought it said goggles, and I'm like, oh, he's putting goggles on for this. This is serious. Oh, here's another one. I just love the way it spreads out. Like, what would you call that? Like, I don't know if leafy is the right word, but it just looks so beautiful. When I die, I want you guys place my body in the forest, and I want just like the grass and the mushrooms to grow over it, and I will become one with it. The crows can pick from me as well. Ooh, don't remember what this plant is. Ooh, do I remember? But that's a pretty good bee one, right? Look at that. Love that bee. I remember at my grandparents' house, on the like morning glories, they used to get these huge, I think my Nana said they were carpenter bees, and they were like ginormous. And she told me they didn't sting. They were good boys and girls and thems. Daffodils have so many varieties too. I remember sometimes we would get these. Did anyone else as kids like randomly get like plant catalogs for their house? I used to love looking at all the varieties, like especially of the daffodils. Like these are just mesmerizing to me. So this was another one of those ones where it was just random. I don't know how it got there. I don't know if it like, I don't quite know how bulbs work. Like, they don't come back the next year, right? You have to like, I'm not quite sure how that works. I've never been able, bumblebees can pinch. Like with their mouth? These are like the spring when the trees, they start to get new growth, and they're this light green and they're like so silky smooth, and I just love them. And what I like to do is I go over to them and I talk to them and I encourage them to continue growing. I'm like, you're doing great. Look how beautiful and soft you are. Keep growing. You're going to be beautiful. Thank you. And I'm certain that it helps. I usually encourage them to thank their friends as well, to pass on the message. And I think they do, because they've found that trees communicate through their roots. So I imagine it gets passed through the city, at the very least. I love them. I like to touch, to like go up and feel them. They're just like the softest, smoothest thing you've ever felt. Ooh, I like this one. I just love dandelions. Ever since I was a kid, I love dandelions. I think it's because they're like considered a weed, and I always felt like a black sheep as a kid. And so I love dandelions, and also I think they're very whimsical because, you know, you blow the dandelions, which is one of my favorite things ever. And so I like this picture. Plus the mossy rock. I love mossy rocks. I just very much identify with dandelions. Like the idea that they're very hardy and they grow anywhere, but people view them as weeds. And I'm like, yes, dandelions, I understand you. And then I blow them and I make a wish that people won't see me as a weed. Mostly it was my dad who saw me as a weed. These are dogwoods. Dogwoods were new to me. I don't remember ever seeing these growing up in California. There's like a pinkish kind, and then there's like a whitish green kind. And they have like the 4 petals, which is so fascinating to me, because I feel like usually flowers have more than 4 petals, or maybe like 3, but like how often do you see one with like these 4 petals, like almost square? This is one of the only dogwood photos I got, because usually I see them when I'm driving. I really love them. I don't know, I think maybe they grow a lot of other places. Not sure if they're native. This is the only tree photo I have. The reason I don't take more tree photos is I feel like they never turn out as beautiful as they look to me. This is like the FOREST where we take the dog. But I just never feel like the photo can capture how beautiful these are. The FOREST is the place I am happiest. Especially if I have food with me. Food in the FOREST. Nothing can top that. That is ultimate happiness. I've never been pinched by a bumblebee, but I did get bitten by a, what do you call it? Not horsefly. Is that right? I was picking blueberries in Massachusetts, Nantucket, and I got bitten by, is it a horsefly? See, look at this one. It's brown, which is weird. Usually they're red, but maybe he's gonna turn red. Look at him. He's like not even out of the ground yet. He's punching his way out. I hope you weren't taking out those dandelions, Sleepy, because I take that as a personal attack. But good for you as a kid doing that. I used to sell lemonade. My sister and I would hand squeeze from like lemons in the yard. And then make it from scratch. Kids these days use like Minute Maid. Can you believe that? Well, you could use them to, supposedly you can make dandelion wine. Although I feel like that would not end up being worth the effort. So yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. You see him just starting. It's just so cool to me. So I guess they just like, are they just like under the ground and they just like winter, or not winter under there? Are they summer under there and then they pop out? Like, I don't know. I'm obsessed with that. Oh wait, I was gonna say this is Spanish broom. I don't think that's right though. Shoot. There's this other one that's Spanish broom that is a similar flower, but this isn't it. This one is... Oh man, I'm so mad because I specifically meant to include a picture of the Spanish broom because I really love them. Because they're like one of the only flowers that like blooms in the winter, and they bloom on these bushes that look totally dead, but then these gorgeous yellow flowers grow. I think they look a little like a female reproductive organ, but not these ones so much. These are not the ones that I thought they were. Dang it. Dandelions. Look at that. I love them so much. I love them. I would never get a tattoo, but if I did, dandelion would have a big potential. A dandelion. Very possible. If I were to. Mini mangoes. You know, have you actually seen those? This past summer, I saw those in store. Like these tiny little mini mangoes. I think I actually bought one. I love mangoes. Another bee in the woods rose. This one you can see I had a little trouble captioning it. It didn't turn out quite as well as I would have liked. Again, you guys need a smellogram of these. I'm getting real hungry. Oh, these were just... This didn't turn out as well. Man, these don't look as good. Maybe it's because they're so big on my computer. Because I was trying to get the raindrops, you know, on the flower. Because I love that. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Okay, these I think are called, oh my god, bindweed? Because I was trying to figure out if these were morning glories or bindweed. I would be totally into the channel for channel for the bumblebees and a channel for the mushrooms. I was trying to figure out if they're morning glories or bindweed, or if morning glories and bindweed are the same. These also grow all over, and they're the kind that close at night. And I just, like, I love that. They're so beautiful. I think they're invasive, though. I recall. Well, I heard bindweed is invasive. I don't know. I was trying to figure it out. Bumblebee. This looks like some kind of thistle, maybe. Bumblebee. See a little bit of spider web on there, too. Love it. I love thistle because, again, it's one of those things that vaguely reminds me of my childhood. Not sure why. It's just like something, it connects to this cloudy area of my brain that says childhood. Thank you, WishStone. You based it on the leaves, huh? We need to go back. The leaves. Interesting. I'm gonna have to Google that. This one, as you can see, was this little bug had just like, it's not molt. Do you call it molting when it's a bug? Here's one of my theories. I'm convinced that shedding your skin or your shell feels super good. I would imagine I would just like shed my skin or my shell or whatever, and then I would like get a like full body like brush down or massage, and I feel like it would feel so good. I have very like itchy skin though. Like I love dry brushing on my skin. It's like feels so good. So I'm convinced like dry brushing after shedding my skin would feel really good, but my skin might just be really raw and I might just end up bloody. These are my favorite kind of hydrangeas. Look at how blue these are. I guess hydrangeas have 4 petals. But I love how blue they are. I just love this. A face mask. What do you mean, Sleepy? Like a face mask that you like peel off? I've wanted to try those peel off ones, but I've seen videos of people who like cannot get them off and it's like painful, so I'm a little scared. What is this? This looks like a lily. It's kind of shitty though. I think maybe it's just like a really tall, poorly kept lily. Yeah, I've seen videos of people doing the peel off ones and not being able to get them off. I would like to try it. I just would need to make sure I got one that was safe. This is from this pig sanctuary. Yeah, I love a good exfoliation. There's this place I went once, and it's an all-naked spa, which was my first time going to a naked spa. That's an interesting experience. Plus, I went on my birthday in the middle of the week, so it was the middle of the day, so I was the only person of my age there. It was a bunch of naked old ladies, and they do this full body scrub. It's the weirdest thing, because you're like fully naked, and they're scrubbing you down, but then they like splash warm water on you to keep you warm, like you're like a beached whale. It's the weirdest thing I've ever experienced, but it was nice and scritchy. I'm not sure if I like naked spas. I didn't feel that the nakedness really enhanced it for me, and it's kind of awkward because it's like, oh, it's the human body, it's fine, but you also kind of feel like you should avert your eyes. It's weird. Yes, these pigs were so sweet. They were all rescued. Some horrific things happened to pigs in the medical and the food industries and the probably cosmetic too, but especially medical and food. So that makes me very sad. That's where all these pigs came from. And it's awful the things that happen to them. I don't want to bum you guys out. Did I jiggle the pigs? Is that what you mean, Sleepy? So these were brothers, I believe. Or were they sisters? Or brothers and sisters? Pigs are so funny because when you see pictures as a kid, I don't think you realize how bristly, like, pigs are. And apparently pigs have hair like humans. It's not fur like cats and dogs. I didn't jiggle them, but I did give them belly scritches. They really like belly scritches. Some of them more than others, but all of them are pretty okay with the belly scritches. And some of them love it. And they were just enjoying a good mud bath. It was pretty hot that day. I mean, hot for here. I want to say 90s, which is quite hot for here. Like steel wool. I mean, it is. They are pretty, like, yeah, kind of like steel wool. It's not soft like you think it's going to be. Although I feel like most animals, when you encounter them the first time, they're not like what you think. Because you imagine that a sheep is really soft, right? But sheep are actually very, like, greasy. And the fur, it's dense. It's not soft. I know, I love pigs too. Pigs are super, did you know pigs are super intelligent? After humans, apes or simians, and corvids, pigs are like the 4th smartest. Isn't that cool? Look at this guy, he was just living his best life. They're living their best life here too. Like, here's some, this was a set of brothers that someone just left them to die of heat exhaustion so they could cook them later. And it's like, okay, it's, like, I understand you're gonna, like, cook them and you eat meat, but you didn't have to leave them to die from heat stroke. That's just sick. But they got rescued. Thank God. Now they're living happy lives. Like, I feel like my issue is, like, you can eat meat without being cruel. And I feel like that's the problem these days, is there's so much cruelty that happens so people can eat meat. I don't think eating meat is inherently cruel. I think it's the way we treat the animals leading up to when we decide to eat them. These were some littler ones. Well, I'm not saying you have to let them die. I'm just saying you don't have to, like, factory farm them or, like, leave them to die of heat stroke, or some pigs are often put in gas chambers to kill them. Like, that is not necessary. There's more humane ways. This, I was obsessed with this. I took so many pictures and videos. There was a mama and a baby cow. I think the baby was maybe named Nora, or the mama was Nora, because the baby might have been a boy. And I got some. The cows were super cute. She had to, like, bribe them over. Cows do love to snuggle. Have you ever heard of the Gentle Barn? They've got locations in California, Tennessee, and Missouri, I think. And you can go there for cow hugs and cow yoga and cow therapy. I went there once to the California one. Yeah, cows are very loving. And they're very connected to the rest of their herd, too. They're very emotional animals. So look, this isn't the best picture, but look, the baby started nursing the mama, and I was, like, flipping out. Yeah, their noses are very wet. That's true. Well, this isn't a good picture. I'm trying to remember the baby's name. I should have written it down. This isn't my best one either. But look, the baby was nursing. It was the best day of my whole life. Until yesterday when I won that polka battle with the leech seed. But yeah, it was so awesome. I was so obsessed. Look at that. Look at that beauty. He's nursing. He's nursing. That was another one. Oh, there's that nightshade that I love. Okay, that means the berry pictures are coming up. Every time I see these, I probably have so many, like, pictures of this plant, but every time I see it, I'm just like, this is so cool. Oh, bee on a woods rose. That sounds like some kind of, like, name. Like, if I were to put this in a museum, I call this piece Bee on a Woods Rose. Oh, this was a surprise one. This was one I caught on accident, too. This is one of the, like, everlasting peas. I just squatted down to get a picture, and there's a butterfly on it. And I was like, hell yeah. Although I wanted to get a better picture, but I was afraid of the butterfly flying away before I could get it. That's a pretty close-up picture, though. But I wanted to get down a little bit more. But, you know. If you guys haven't heard Get Down from Six, that song is a banger, younglings. That song is awesome. I love it. Actually, most of the songs from that music are good. These are like them when they're like little buds. And I just thought they looked really cool. They look kind of like clogs. Picture's a little blurry. I couldn't quite get it how I wanted, but my dog kept running in front of the camera, so I kind of just had to take what I could get. They look like clogs, but they also look like butterflies right when they first come out of the cocoon and they haven't, like, opened up yet. That's a pansy. Nice vibrant colors. Nice Vinta flower. This is the secret little creek I discovered. I had to risk my life getting down to it, but I wasn't scared. The earth will provide. I'm not afraid. I'm not... Father, I'm afraid. How many times have I made that reference, you guys? Twice this weekend, but it's not the first time. And then, yeah, it was really beautiful. Can you almost hear the sound of the creek? It reminds me of the Boy Scout trips we used to go on as kids. Except for that nasty pipe thing there. And... Creaky creek. Okay, here's the nightshade berries. Look at these. I'm obsessed with getting pictures of them when they're like this. I have a better one later on. Because if you get a picture at just the right time, there's green ones, yellow ones, and red ones. And they're just like the most picturesque, perfect little berries you ever saw. 99% sure they're poisonous, but I didn't plan on eating them anyway, so joke's on them. But look at them. There's a better one. This is butterfly bush, which is really pretty. And it smells sweet, but it's more of a subtle sweet than like the woods rose. It's sweet, but it's more like a... I guess kind of like honeysuckle, but it, like I said, it's a much softer sweetness. Make a Christmas tree out of... My brain's getting confused. Out of the berries? This is just a little clover. I love clover because I think of like books I read when I was a kid and like the bunnies would eat clover, right? Peter Rabbit, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail. They would be beautiful for a tree. Christmas tree. I'd love to have a nice nature-y Christmas tree. So yeah, the clover. Not a good picture. But it's because I was using my Plant ID app. Some of these are from my Plant ID app, and that's why they're not as good. And I was just using it because I like to know exactly the name of the plant. More of that strawberry ground cover. See, here's a good one. Look at this one. Look at this one. Do you even see this? Do you even see these berries? They look kind of like teeny tiny tomatoes, right? Yeah. How poisonous we talking, Otter? I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to taste them. Like, kill me poisonous or just make my mouth numb poisonous? These, I think I saw... I think I took a picture of these when I was at USC. Sorry. And it was some kind of like jasmine relative. But it's weird because these look like little peaches, right? This is from my Plant ID app for sure. I was just walking around USC. Why was I walking around? What was I doing? I don't know. But I got this picture. God, sorry guys. Don't remember what these are called, but I like them because they look like they made it out of like tissue paper or like origami almost. And I like how they got the little flower and then like the leafy, kind of like poinsettias, huh? Oh shit, okay, Otter. Yikes. I don't know why I'm coughing all of a sudden. My cough medicine might be wearing off. Although I only took it like 2 hours ago, so that can't be it. These would definitely remind me of poinsettias. That is some morning glory. This was in Southern California. I took a picture because it looks all cool how it's like rolled up. That's true. Tomatoes are nightshades. I think eggplants are as well. Okay, God, sorry. Yeah, and look how cool it is. It's like, it's still like unfurling. Oh God, I don't know why I'm all of a sudden like, my eyes are like watering. I don't know what the heck this is. I just thought it looked really cool. Oh, potato are nightshades. Interesting. That's weird because like you can see the connection between like eggplant and tomato, but potato is like so different. These were just some pears. I love pears. Potato. Wait, are potato berries? What's a potato berry? Is that like, does that like grow above ground? Or is that like a different plant? Ooh, I forgot what these are called, but I think they look very fairy-like, don't they? They did come in pairs. No partridge in that pear tree, though. So that was a bummer. I was promised. Yeah, I love these because they look very whimsical, fairy-like. They almost look like little butterflies to me. Yeah, we eat the tuber. Does the berry grow above ground? I've never seen a picture. I don't remember what an above tuber's wrong. It's not a tuber? I thought it was a tuber. This is just another fungus type I happened upon. These grow on the logs. I don't know what these are, but they look pretty. They look like you could harvest them to make some tea. Maybe I should have tried. Although I probably should double check, you know, the whole poison factor. I should start a new channel, Can You Tea It? Because you know how people would do like, Can You Waffle It for a while? I should do Can You Tea It? But I guess you can kind of tea anything. These are one of the ones that was like glowing. Oh, I'm sorry. It was glowing. It was like, bioluminescent. Bioluminescent? There we go. Not bioluminescent. Bioluminescent. Mushrooms are my boyfriend. Eek. One of those slimy ones again. Slimy. Oh, wait. You guys aren't there yet. Hold on. Sorry. Slimy. Oh, another glowy one, and he was on his like own little moss island. So I loved that. And I love how it's kind of like darker around the edges. Just looks so cool. Some more glowy guys. Didn't turn quite... I was having a little trouble. I need a camera that can like get in there. God. Oh, thank you, WishStone. Were you talking about the island one? Here's just a regular one. This was another glowy guy with two little friends down there. I don't think we've gotten to the one kind... Okay, here's one of the black ones, but there was one I was super excited about that I found a couple weeks ago. This guy was just sticking out on the side of a hill, and I loved how he's, you know, growing out like that. Very tiny, the same glowy type. These are snowberries. You cannot eat this variant, at least. But they're so pretty. These aren't as pretty as the other ones. I haven't quite captured them as well as I'd like in photo. They're just like this pure white, like fresh snow, and they're so beautiful. They just grow on these like dead-looking bushes. And I love them. This is just a cute little guy and his friend. Bert and Ernie here. Growing on a trunk of a tree. I don't know what kind this is. This is one I've happened upon under this like tang-colored yellow. Very interesting. There's only been like one log that I found these on, so I find that interesting. They're pretty nasty looking. They kind of look like, what's that one skin thing you can get? Or like, what am I thinking of? This was a little town. I figured this is like a city. This is like the downtown. Those FOREST ones are more like the rural. And there's the suburbs. This is the downtown of the mushrooms. It's very crowded. It's very expensive to live here as well. These are the high-income mushrooms. They're all tech workers. Just a random one. Another glowy friend among the ferns. Very... for God's sake. Sorry, guys. So I would imagine this is very prehistoric because it's got the ferns and the mushrooms. And the mushrooms are like, I was here first, bro. You don't even know what I saw. These guys were cute. I don't know if they're just like younger versions of the other ones. They kind of look like, help me out here, guys. What kind of mushroom is it? I see it sometimes in like places that have grocery stores with lots of mushroom varieties. What do these look like? What kind is it? Oh, that is going to bug me so much. Not enoki, obviously. Not lion's mane. Not... What kind does this look like? Somebody's got to know. Ooh, this... I don't know what these are. I don't know if these are a fungus. I think they are. But I saw these and I was like, yeah, I don't know. Button... I feel like there's a different kind of mushroom I'm thinking of. But maybe I'm getting confused. So these are really pretty. I don't know what these are from, but they were so gorgeous. The red wasn't quite captured. They look like they're made from like wax. God. And they were just so beautiful. They just don't even look real. And I love them. I love them, love them, love them. Also, don't think I should eat these. But they look so appetizing. Look at these guys. Ooh. These kind of look like the kind that might take you over. There's something sinister about them. Oh, shimeji. I think that's what I'm thinking of, Sleepy. Yes, shimeji WishStone. That's it. I think that's the one. That sounds right. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. Look at some nice lichen there. Ooh, see this one? Okay, you can't quite tell. I took a picture because the inner part was yellow. It was like a pretty bright yellow, which I thought was cool. That was the first time I'd seen that. So I was like, I don't know if it turns that color when it dies or like comes above the ground. Just a little fellow. He's a little introverted, so he chose under the log for his home. Oh, this was a new one too. And you can see, okay, was that like, can you see the goop on it? I can't remember if this was water because it was raining or if it was giving off this clear stuff. Oh, I wish I could remember. This is a nice log too. I like it. This guy was underneath. Oh, God. I'm always excited when I find a surprise mushroom, you know? Like when I just find. This one is super teeny tiny. It was like the size of my pinky nail. And it was just on the side. I don't think I got one of my favorite pictures in here. There was this one that I found that was red, and I like miraculously found it, and the head of it was red, and it was like the size of the head of a pin. Sorry, that really struggled to come out. It was like the size of a head of a pin, and I was like, I can't even believe I found this. These three are pretty cute too. They look like little lamps, and they were quite small as well. I love this one because I don't know if can you guys see that like it was kind of convex, and so there was like the water in it from the rain, and so I loved that. I thought that was so pretty, imagining little creatures like little mousey bathing, maybe getting a drink from it. That's the same one. I was trying to show the water in it, but it was hard to tell. I just don't have if I could make enough money out of it, Sleepy, that's what I would do. There's so many things I'd love to do if I could, you know, afford it. These little guys were cute too. Oh, this isn't a good one, but I don't know if you can see here. This looked like a lamprey mouth. It was like creepy, like, oh, you can tell. I think you guys can see it better than in my big zoomed in one. It looked like a lamprey mouth. I was like, oh my God. Here's this fellow letting me see his inside. That didn't sound good. Pretend you didn't hear that. I love the little acorn caps because when I was a kid, we used to like put them on dolls and stuff. One of these beauties. Kind of reminds me of the crackle. I've been watching the baking shows, and you know, like the patachu, they put the what did they call it? Cracklin? Is that what they called it? That they put on top? Reminds me of that. Or like a crinkle cookie. These are the ones. I was so excited. This was my first time ever seeing these, and it was a new one. Look at this. There are so many books on my list, WishStone. When I went to Barnes & Noble, I took pictures of at least 20 books that I wanted. History and nature related, pretty much. These were so cool, like these little black cups, and I had never seen them before, and I was flipping out. They were very tiny. And then another glowy one. We must be close to the end here. Look at this guy. Making his way into the world. Oh, and there's the star moss down there. Do you see it? The star moss? Right here? Love it. Love the star moss. It's just magical. Another one of those. I have no idea when the end is coming, but it's got to be close. That sounds ominous. Oh, a death trumpet, you think? Maybe they were just tiny ones that hadn't grown big yet? Here's another one of these buttes. This one was kind of funky, where it was like a little family. Tight-knit family. More of these guys. This one I liked because you see how he's got the little hole, so I took a picture from the top so you could like see through it, and I thought that was kind of fun. It's this weird type of grass that's like different from most of the other types of grass. It's kind of drier. This was like a whole colony. They are like on top of each other. I don't know what kind this was. This was at my work. I haven't seen these ones at near home. Ooh, here's another glowy friend with that other kind of whatever this is. It almost looks like frost. Look at this friend. Little family of the little guys. 3 more of those guys. All those pine cones. Up, 2 more of those little guys. I like it when I see them in little groups like that. That guy was just growing at the trunk of a tree. Close up of that guy. Oh, baby. This one. This has got to be close to the end. I'm getting real hungry. This one you can get a good look at the under spongy texture. Wonder what that would feel like to take a bite out of. Not saying I'm gonna do it, but I'm just curious. I'd like to touch it more and squeeze it. That didn't sound good either. But I'm curious what it feels like. But obviously I don't want to disturb my mushroom overlords. This one too. This right here, when I was looking at this picture, I was like, wait, is that like an ant? It's not though, it's just a piece of the pine cone, I think. Or another pine cone. Serendipitous. This is a very recent one I saw. I don't know if something was eating it or what. That one. This, I think, is my most recent photo. I think I got this on my walk this morning. Some different ones I'd seen. They were quite large. That is the end. Which is good, because I'm really freaking hungry. So, let me think. I'm thinking about... Thinking about the date. Planning to stream next weekend. Probably the weekend after that. My nephew's coming to visit, but I don't think he gets here until on Monday. So I probably will be streaming the next couple weeks. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. I love talking about my mushroom photos, and it's very special if I have someone who actually wants to hear about them. Because, you know, get the feeling my coworkers maybe don't. Cookies. I did not get cookies on my walk. I did get some cookies yesterday. Did not get cookies on my walk. But I was gonna start some gingerbread cookies today. The dough is supposed to chill overnight, so I was gonna start them today. And I was gonna make the gingerbread syrup for my coffee. I couldn't find the gingerbread man cookie cutter, so I'm gonna do snowflakes instead. But I think those will be kind of fun to decorate anyway. So we'll see how that goes. And plan... Oh, forgot. I'm gonna preview the next tier list. Almost forgot. So this is the next tier list where I will be doing 2 new types of voices, I shall say. I don't know if I'm voicing any characters I've never done before. Oh, I guess technically 1. A new character. But yes, give me just a second. And we shall preview... You will get to see me attempting to talk in Japanese. Be kind, because I did not have the words. I was doing this through listening. I did not have the words written. If I'd had the words written, I think I would have done a damn good job. But I did not have the words to read. I had them just to listen. And when I say written, I don't mean like kanji. I mean like romaji. If I'd had them written like that, then I could have done a great job. This I had to do purely through listening. So we'll see how that went.
Next is everyone's favorite subject, collab events.
Boo!
Not again.
Must we?
Come now, it's not that bad. Well, it is, but a king mustn't rush to judgment before fairly considering all the curves.
I think you mean angles?
No, I do not. Now then, what do we think about the Evangelion collab? You cannot evade.
Going into this, I just want to say Export hasn't seen anything Evangelion related outside of the memes. So EVA fans, if there's some super duper amazing reference or whatever that makes this event great and Export misses it, that's why.
I scarcely believe we shall be dodging arrows from calling this event a mediocre cash grab. 3 banner characters is excessive. Though to be fair, they were all at least good, as was the minigame, as simple as it was.
Sure, but the gacha skin for this is probably the worst in the entire game. And imagine my disappointment when I heard the burst for it showed Asuka suiting up, only to see it's not remotely as lewd as you would expect. From a series whose most well-known meme is Shinji in a hospital with Asuka just yanking.
Back to the story. It is just filled with issues. Trying to force a school setting on this and the whole partnering up thing was foolish.
And the arc nearly getting nuked was a bit over the top for a collab event. I know we criticize ReZero's collab story for being silly and irrelevant, but this takes it way too far in the other direction. Is the whole D-Wave parallel universe thing out of the bag now for the general public? How could an event this cataclysmic not impact the main story?
Perhaps this takes place in an alternate timeline, such as the Schick razor shaving commercial Eva timeline. And yes, that is a real thing. Watch.
Schick Evangelion campaign! これで人類の相会感は新たなステージまで取り付きよ。この反り心地、なんという相会感。これぞ魂の介護だ。シェーブインパクト発動。ここに理想がある。心からの解放感がある。はっはっは。はっはっはっはっはっは。Schick Evangelion campaign!
Thank you, Volley D, for filling Export's head with that kernel of information, which she will now never be able to remove. Regardless, despite having mountains of content, this event just didn't land correctly. And apparently, the sales figures for this event reflected that sentiment.
Alright, so that is one of the 2 new voices you will be hearing in the tier list. That was a middle-aged Japanese man. I don't know, does anybody speak Japanese? I'm not sure how well I did. Oh yes, and shout out to Volley D. And shout out to Sleepy as well for his very generous super chat yesterday. And yeah, I don't know, what do you guys think of the Japanese? How did it sound? Anybody speak it? I was trying real hard. So yeah, it was hard to do with purely listening, but I was pretty happy with how it turned out. And then, yeah, so it's gonna be a new storyline, kind of like, you know, before I did the Scheherazade. So this will be like a new fan story. And so there will be a new character, a new original character introduced. The other new voice. Only, Sleepy, I don't know what you mean by only. That's a lot. And, yeah, Volley, I need to work on, I think, one of the things I gotta work on, too, is, like, it's pitch accent, right? I've read about that, but I have a lot more practice and listening and studying to do on that. So that's probably part of the problem. Anyway. So yeah, gonna have a new character.
Next is everyone's favorite.
And again, I did my best. I'm an amateur, so hopefully you guys will like the new voice for the new character. And then on next Monday, which is the 23rd. Next Monday, the 23rd is when the Year 2 events tier list will come out. And it is quite long. That's what she said. It's like over 45 minutes, like 46 minutes. And so that'll be, I think that's the longest one I've done by quite a bit. I want to say at least 5 minutes. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to introduce the new fan story. Obviously, me being the fan. And original story, I guess is what you could call it. And let's see, is there anything else I want to tell you guys before I go? Oh, and new song tomorrow, the one that I previewed yesterday, the Gacha Players Need Jesus with Luce is how I've been pronouncing it, because I'm assuming Italian. That's how they pronounce it. Correct me if you think I'm wrong. So that'll be coming out. The rest of that, you saw a good chunk of it yesterday. You'll see the rest tomorrow. So have a great rest of your weekend. And next weekend, I'll let you know how my gingerbread syrup and cookies went, as well as the 100 cookies, sugar cookies I'll be making for the holiday party. Have a great rest of your day.